let the Naga people know that the outgoing team of the Naga Students Federation has left, is leaving this office after reposing our faith and placing our highest respect to the incoming team who are able and who will be able to take forth the Naga Students Federation for unified lean and glory of the Nagas.
Today, I stand before you with a clear vision, a vision of unity, trust, and sense of patriotism.
Naga Club has accepted the measures given by the KVC and APO, but from the side of the Naga Students Federation, the resolution of the NSF is very clear that until and unless the so-called Naga Club is mandated by the Naga people, Naga Students Federation cannot hand over this sacred building as well as cannot recognize the existence of the organization. It is a known fact that be it individual or be it organization, in the course of a journey, their differences and misunderstanding will always arise. It was very unfortunate that one of the strongest unit of NSF did not extend their cooperation, particularly towards this tenor. But we will look forward their participation and cooperation with the change of leadership and with the change of tenor. Naga Students Federation, with its jurisdiction across 4 states and 2 nations, with the change of time and with the change of leadership, we used to have our general conference here and there, where in order to culminate this present tenor, we have held our general conference in Ukru on 24th and 25th of August under the theme Solidarity Beyond Borders, where we want to take this opportunity to thank all the federating units and subordinate bodies, as well as particularly the Tangkhul Katamnao Saklon, for hosting not only the Naga Students Federation but the entire Naga leaders to culminate our tenure, where we have deliberately discussed on unity of the Nagas under the theme Solidarity Beyond Borders. It was a very successful conference, though the weather was very challenging and though the situation in Manipur state was not healthy to have a big gathering in the form of the general conference. But nevertheless, with the support from all the Naga people, we could have a very successful general conference. Since our general conference was held there in Ukru, most of our activities which we want to be covered, particularly in Nagaland media, could not be properly placed. So we want to take this opportunity to express our thankfulness to the Naga people, as well as we also want to express our remark where our achievements as well as our failures we want to lay down before the Naga people to judge, as well as we also want to introduce the new team which will be led by Medoviri, who was the former education secretary for our tenure, will be leading the Naga Students Federation in the capacity of president and his colleagues. Needless to mention, where particularly this tenure we have faced lots of challenges, but despite all the challenges, keeping our faith in Almighty God and with the blessings and support from all the leaders across, we could somehow come to the close of this very tenure. Some remarkable achievements and initiatives which we have undertaken in the last 2 years is the introduction and implementation of NSSB in the state of Nagaland. We give our thanks to the government of the day, particularly the Chief Minister, for honoring and respecting the voices of the students community by introducing the NSSB, which is particularly to influence and to ensure that the right person is accommodated for the right position in the grade 3 position particularly. Naga Students Federation will continue to extend our fullest cooperation to the NSSB as well as to the government in order to ensure that meritocracy, fairness is always there in any process of examination. Has always been demanding that 12.5% of the Viva marks should be marginalized, should be decreased, if not scrapped down. And accordingly, government of the day have already declared and announced that from next cycle of Viva Voice, from next cycle of NSSB, Viva Voice marks will be only 5% of the total marks, where we want to express our thankfulness to the government of the day. One pending issue which we could achieve in the last 2 years was the streamlining of RMSA and SSA teachers, which in fact it was very difficult considering the exchequer of the state government. But considering the demand of the NSF, the government of the day have streamlined and then brought those deprived teachers in the state cadet. We are faced with the 14 incident which took place in Moon. We had a mass rally over in almost all the headquarters of the Naga inhabited areas. We had a major mass rally, and then Naga Students Federation is the only organization who demanded for special assembly to discuss on 14 incident where it was considered, and accordingly, as per our demand, few of the police stations and districts were lifted under ASPA. And Naga Students Federation will continue that ASPA is completely removed from, particularly in the Naga homeland. Yes, just before we were about to wind up our tenure, the office of Naga Students Federation was vandalized on 27th of May, which was very sudden and which was very surprising, where only we leave to the Naga people and the Naga leaders to judge and to bring justice. And we want to call upon all the parent organizations and civil society organizations to come together and bring and give a solution to this pending issue in our Naga Club building, our headquarters, our kit.
It's been a good journey altogether, particularly for me as the General Secretary of NSF and my respective president, Colin Tab as the president. 2 years, all of you have been with us through thick and thin. You have been the voices, you have been the voice of the voiceless, and we want to once again thank you officially in this gathering. I want to just supplement what my respected president has stated. Despite the civil unrest that was happening in the state of Manipur, when NSF 30th General Conference took place in Ukhrul, hosted by the Tangkhul Students Union, and their official nomenclature is Tangkhul Katamrao Saklong, there was a footfall of more than 2,000 delegates from across the Naga homeland. And when we say across the Naga homeland, we want to be very specific. The Nagas living in the 4 states of India, which are Assam, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagaland. And also there's the Nagas from Burma. We want to once again extend our sincerest gratitude on behalf of the office to the TTS for being such a gracious host towards the Naga people. Coming back to Otting incident, we want to remind the Naga people that the Naga Students Federation has a standing resolution that until and unless AFSPA is repealed or removed entirely from the entire Naga homeland, that the Naga people shall not extend any cooperation towards the Indian Armed Forces nor the paramilitary forces. this resolution still stands, and this resolution will be taken and shall be taken forward by the new team being led by our Mendagashri, and also with Mr. Chumben Kuhung as the General Secretary. We once again reiterate our thankfulness to the government of the day for their response to uphold the spirit of meritocracy in the government job market by ensuring that NSSB has come into full circle. We want to appreciate the government of the day for heeding to the call of the Naga Students Federation to either scrap the Viva Voce component or reduce the percentage of the marks from 12.5% to 5%. We have lots of issues which we want to highlight actually. But one very important incident that we want to openly place before you is the Naga Students Federation for the tenure 2021 to 23, led by Koeng Tep, was privileged to have celebrated the 75th year of our existence. The committee headed by K. Temten Jamir launched the 75-year celebration on the 4th of July. The plan was to launch it on the 5th, but since 5th being a Sunday, we were not able to launch it on 5th, and so we launched our celebration on the 4th of July with a massive tree plantation that took place all over the entire Naga homeland. And we want to extend our sincerest gratitude to all the officers from the forest department who were gracious enough to give us saplings which were planted across the Naga homeland. And we hope and look forward that these little trees that we have planted will bear much fruits in the days to come. Our culmination celebration took place on the 29th of October, which is also the foundation day of the Naga Students Federation, wherein our Honorable Chief Minister, Nifidio, was gracious enough to be a part of it, and then he made the program a grand success. On the part of the Federation, with regard to our efforts to take forth our principle of unified limb and glory of Nagas pertaining to the Indo-Naga political issue, Naga Students Federation has always and will always remain steadfast in our approach and in our functioning towards ensuring that an inclusive, honorable and acceptable solution is brought about at the earliest. However, the final and ultimate goal of the Naga Students Federation shall remain sovereignty of the Naga nation, and this inclusive, honorable and acceptable solution should not be misread by the Naga people as a whole. On the 11th of June 2022, we had one of the biggest and massive Naga gathering ever in Delhi under the banner of Naga Students Federation. We didn't want to give it any political tone, so we make it into a generalized tone, calling it the Naga people's call for peace, because we want to let the Naga people know that the younger generation, the generation which will inherit the Naga solution, is yearning for peace across the Naga homeland. And it was a massive success thanks to the support from all the stakeholders, be it the Naga people and also our well-wishers. We had the privilege as a tenor, as individuals leading the Naga Students Federation. We had the privilege of seeing the change of guard of the Northeast Students Organization. The team led by Koingtep attended the 6th General Conference of NESO at Tripura, held at Tripura, and we are proud to announce, and it is already in public domain, but our Mutsuko Yobu, the former president of the Naga Students Federation, was elected unanimously as the Secretary General of Northeast Students Organization, while Izantang, the former General Secretary of NSF, was unanimously elected as the coordinator of NESO. There are other things to highlight. The issues of the role being played by Naga Students Federation during the ongoing ethnic clash that is happening in the state of Manipur. The Naga Students Federation had multiple round of meetings with the higher ups and also with our various counterparts, and we were able to see the repatriation of a lot of our students who were facing difficulties because of the threats that were being posed by the clash that was taking place in the state of Manipur. We don't want to highlight domestic issues anymore, because domestic issues should be left domestic. So we'll just leave it there. We want to let the Naga people know that the outgoing team of the Naga Students Federation is leaving this office after reposing our faith and placing our highest respect to the incoming team, who are able and who will be able to take forth the Naga Students Federation for unified lean and glory of the Nagas.
I want to thank our Nagas for putting faith in me to lead the Naga Student Federation. And I also want to thank our media friend for being the voice and mind of our Naga Student Federation. I would like to take this opportunity especially to thank our Kertap, our outgoing president, for successfully completing his tenure with our conference held in Kul with the theme Solidarity Beyond Borders. The gathering is a symbolic strength of the Naga Student Federation. It is an act of convictions and aspiration of the Naga people to show the strength of the Nagas to the rest of the world. Today, I stand before you with a clear vision of unity, trust, and sense of patriotism. We are here to officially have an official meeting. Just today we take over the office. So later part of the days, once we take the issues or when we pick the issues, we will brief the media. Thank you. Good night.
I have one question.
Please.
It's not related to the outgoing, but the Naga Club had given a timeline for us and for NSF to evacuate the place. Like there was still August 31st. So definitely the federation have already come out with your stand, but since today is like the 2nd of September, like has there been any exchange of word or conversation between Naga Club and NSF?
Yeah, we all understood, because it is already in public domain that the respected organization, Koima Village Council and the Angami Public Organization has written to us the measures given in order to bring a solution to this issue, whereby we have officially responded to them that we cannot agree to certain points, and after that we don't have any further communication. However, it has also come to our notice that Naga Club has accepted the measures given by the KVC and APO. But from the side of the Naga Students Federation, the resolution of the NSF is very clear that until and unless the so-called Naga Club is mandated by the Naga people, Naga Students Federation cannot hand over this sacred building as well as cannot recognize the existence of the organization.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
One thing.
Yes.
Regarding the differences over NIDA with ASU, they didn't even attend this time's press conference, the conference, NSF conference, and also they were not part of the Naga Independence Day celebrations also. So it seems the difference is still there. So how are you trying to resolve that?
Yeah, it is a non-fact that be it individual or be it organization, in the course of a journey, their differences and misunderstanding will always arise. It was very unfortunate that one of the strongest unit of NSF did not extend their cooperation, particularly towards this tenure. But we will look forward their participation and cooperation with the change of leadership and with the change of tenure. And we appeal to the ASU leaders to join Naga Students Federation in order to strengthen the federation and in order to truly determine and express the motto of the Naga Students Federation, that is for unified limb and glory of Nagas, which is inclusive.